Yeah, win is win. Now, that's the beauty of that is it's always now.
But now is never now.
But now is never now, right? Exactly. Now, as soon as you started talking about now, it's like it's a concept.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
We are getting ahead of ourselves. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a discussion on nothing. Today we have Mr. Alex Acosta joining us.
Hello. That's nice to meet you. Well,
It's good to meet you.
I mean, everybody out there.
Oh, I got you.
I've never met anybody except for you. I'm
That's
closed in my bubble.
That's well. I mean that you can't ever meet anybody except you.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you want to get down to the nuts and bolts of it all, right? But yeah, it's cool, man. I'm excited to have you on.
I'm excited to do this. This is an interesting concept.
Kind of a different format than we've been on podcasts before together, and we used to host the Whatever Lounge actually on John's station, which you may be listening to this on. Currently on GMR, which is his one of his newer renditions of the station, and they're kicking ass and taking names, and it's beautiful. And
were they chewing bubble gum?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are about out.
I mean, can you ever not be out?
It's funny they live, man. What a ridiculously accurate.
That's right.
What a ridiculously accurate depiction of the current state we're in.
And it was done 30 years ago.
It's funny, they've been talking about that same exact concept, mm-hmm. right? Like allowing a power outside of you, essentially, to control you, right? Like that's essentially what it is. But it's taking the power that is you and using that against you, and that's sort of the whole.
In a sense, it's what is it like? It's a form of enslavement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's an imprisonment of your mind.
Enslavement. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's getting wrapped up in consumerism, exactly, and obey, do rules and regulations and right and wrong and morals and dogmas and and it's like where we're at right now in the world, and it's but I'll tell you what, the world is waking up to the fact that that's the case,
and that's the beautiful part.
That's absolutely the beautiful part. It's scary and it's uncomfortable, and it's people are having conversations that they don't like to have, and it's like, yeah, that's where growth comes from, and that's why they call it growing pains, right?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Sometimes it gets pretty rough.
It does.
There's a lot of touchy subjects, and there's
absolutely
very thin lines. I don't know. You find out who the true colors of people and what they're really about, and it's sad because it's the people you never would have expected, and unfortunately, it draws those lines between people, and it's dividing more than it is uniting. But in the same sense, it's allowing everybody to kind of awake, like you said, and the beautiful part about it is 90% of the people who are becoming more woke, if you will, are actually becoming aware that the only thing that really matters is nothing.
Right. Yeah.
If you look at them and listen to them, they a lot of them are kind of finding this path in their own ways.
Absolutely.
In their own time.
Yeah. You can only ever find it in your own way. That's the thing, is like I can't say how many times I've said it on the show, I can't give you this thing that we're talking about. This thing that we're talking about is only experienced by you. Like I can't give it to you. It's only an empirical discovery, it's something that you have to actually, like, it has to be you all of a sudden. Then it clicks, I guess. But
I don't want to say experience it, because
I know, because that's giving it substance, right?
Yeah, because there's no substance. It's just, I don't know. I can't describe it. It's hard to find the words to describe it.
Well, there aren't really words to describe because words are something, right? Words have to have a conceptual basis behind them. Otherwise, they're just sounds. You know, like if I just were to say, we went to the market and you don't know who we are and you don't know what a market is, or not nonetheless the market, right? I didn't say a market, I said the market. So if you don't know which market I'm talking about and you don't know what a market is and you don't know who we are, that's just sounds, you know. So there has to be concept behind any type of language. And so that's why it's literally important. Like what we're trying to point out in this is the lack of concept. So like when you have the lack of concept, there's not that other part in which like language fits and makes work. So it's like, it's sort of, you know, it's us running around chasing our tail. You'll never actually get to the meat and potatoes of what we talk about during these because of that, right? You can't actually talk about it. But you can sort of intuit what it is that I'm pointing out right now, because there's something you can't talk about occurring right this very second. And like, we can't stop it. We can't, you know, start it. We can't, it just is.
Controlling it.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about things is people get so upset about how life happens, but it just happens.
Right.
We really literally have no control over it. In the sense we can make what our life is, but there's no deciding it.
Yeah, we can guide it to the way we'd like it to go, but that doesn't control a meteorite flying through my roof right now and hitting me in the head, you know?
No, I mean, I envision building a business and it's succeeding and growing somewhere. Never did I envision a global pandemic putting a halt to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It stopped 60, 70% of a business that was exceeding. And I don't even want to get started on the other businesses that have been lost because of it, right. But nobody intended that.
I mean, I feel you. I work in the gig industry, man. Like I play shows and I do like film, like one-offs and stuff. And so like all that's like stopped right now. And so it's like,
crazy.
It's been crazy, you know, and it's totally has completely reshaped the entire way that our world works.
Oh yeah, you can work from home, and it points that so many businesses can be ran from home.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's peeled back that brick and mortar.
Yeah, and it's sort of peeled back the whole bullshit of a lot of companies, right? A lot of companies, oh, we can't possibly work from home. You guys have to come in, and then all of a sudden now they're being forced to. And so in order to stay afloat, they have to let these people work from home.
That's pretty darn easy, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so it's like, that's why I love Twitter. Twitter made the great move of like, you guys don't ever have to come back into the office. Like you guys can all work from home, you know, indefinitely. Yep. And it's like, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you don't have to, you don't have to, unfortunately. I can't. Well, yeah. No, even though, yeah.
Yeah, like my wife works from home. You know, she's been working from home since this whole thing started. Yeah, I've been loving it. You know, she travels for work, so it's been great.
On the Sky Miles, though. I mean.
Oh yeah, her her Delta Sky Miles have taken a hit.
Oh my. Well, let me cash in, I guess, for that blender that I saw.
So what do items. Go ahead, and while we're on materialistic subjects, you said you have a company. What do you do?
Oh, I make
give it a little plug.
I own and create and operate Amulet Beard. Oh, I mean, I guess Amulet, but we go by amuletbeard.com.
Oh yeah. What do you guys do?
All natural organic beard products as of right now. Mustache oil or mustache wax, beard oil, beard wash, beard balm. I am currently in the testing phases of more of a hair product, more of like a leave-in hairstyling stuff for men. Just kind of spray it in your hair, give it a good rustle, and go about it. I decided I was going to rotate some tires on my car before this, so don't judge my product by how I look. Anyway, I've been having to wear a mask.
I think you look sexy. Yeah, I know. That's been crazy too, right? Like wearing a mask everywhere you got to go.
Touching my face.
I mean, I get it. And you know, there's a lot of different studies out there that say a lot of different things, but you know, the way I look at things most of the time is let's pretend for a moment that the media didn't exist at all, right? That there was no TV, there was no news, there was none of that stuff. And I saw people wearing masks, right? I would go, okay, it's probably wise to maybe wear a mask. Just in general, it's probably a wise move, right? Like regardless of what I'm told, like, okay, there's a lot of people wearing masks. Why? Maybe I should just like throw a mask on. Now, the problem is that most people don't look at things that way. They don't go, hey, like, let's use common sense and go like, okay, there's a sickness sort of happening. Let's put it on. So the people that are sick are spreading this stuff, then making it so that the people that aren't sick are having to wear masks, which can get them sick. So it's like we're in this sort of like, we're in this crazy like circular thing, right? And it's all just dividing, and that's all essentially all of this is just doing, is just dividing, and it's dividing so much that you realize there's nothing to divide. When you break something down far enough, you realize there's so many of it that it's actually infinite. And when it's infinite, there actually can't be a number to it. Zero is the closest thing you can come to infinity. Like, because one isn't it. One implies two. Because you have one and then you have none, right? So that's still a duality, which implies two. So like none actually implies infinity, which is like why unity, right? Unity and infinity, they're both the same kind of thing too. And in music speak, right, unity is zero. That's the spot you want to start everything usually at unity. Obviously, if you're doing certain things, you want to start it in different spots. But unity basically means zeroed out. And so like I love this was a little exercise that Leo, you've listened to Leo on actualized.org.
I think so, a little bit, yeah.
Showed you some of his videos. One of his little exercises that he did was he said, he said, think about who you are. What part of you is you? Is it your arm? If we get rid of your hand, are you still you? Like people like, obviously I'm still me. You can get
I don't know, man.
mechanical. I feel you. But you could get a robotic one now, right? Like they make that shit. You could get one that you could just still use.
So I just cut it off?
If you want. I mean, I don't recommend it, but but you do you. You do you.
What's gonna happen? This vessel is just a vessel, right?
It's true. I mean, but that's gonna suck for a bit.
For however long it does suck.
Yeah, but he's like, you take away your arm, and he started taking away all these things, right? He's like, well, which you is you, and if you really want to break it down, like, what is your arm even made of? Your arm's made up of atoms, right? So which atom is you? And it's like, would you really break it down? Like, let's just say you're just atoms. We won't break it down any farther than atoms, because otherwise we're getting into quantum physics and like that stuff's ridiculous. And I don't even fully understand it. So I'm not going to try and talk about it like I do. But there is smaller shit than atoms, right? But we'll talk about atoms. Let's say that you're just atoms. Your body is made of trillions of atoms. Like in science,
technically, isn't that what we're made of? It's all just atoms.
Atoms is what everything's made of. That's what this fucking bookshelf behind me is made of.
We're not imagining like we're getting down to the text.
Right? Yeah, we're going science. This is science, right? Like,
I just don't. I don't want to sugarcoat shit. If we're atoms. So keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, we're atoms, right? Like let's
pretend.
Yeah, we're pretending, yes, because obviously, like once you get to the end of this fucking road, you quickly realize, like, wait a second, because which atom are you?
Everything.
You're all of them. You're every single fucking atom that exists. Like, how could you be any different? How could the atoms that make up this hand be any different from the atoms that make up this fucking thing? Or the air that's in this room?
This device that I'm communicating.
Yes, the pixels on this screen, the sounds that are occurring, right?
If I would not hear, this would not exist.
Exactly. How would you be separate from any of that? You're not. And that's sort of the beauty of it all, right? Is consciousness is waking up to the fact that it's just that. It's consciousness. It's not actually any of this. It has nothing to do with any of this. Like, you have zero to do with any of this because you're all of it. Therefore, it's all you. You don't have anything to do with it. You are it. And it's,
I don't know, because that's a whole different. I mean, in the same existence of science and you know, atoms, it makes you wonder, like, how is it possible that our body can be made up of so many complex nerve endings and pores that just the slightest touch we can feel everything everywhere, and it's so fast to connect to my brain. And my vision, apparently, you know, everything I see comes in upside down, but I can switch it so fast that I don't even, it's like that. If that makes any sense. How is that possible?
It does. See, and I agree with you there. And that's sort of, I think that's where sort of mainstream science has sort of gotten gotten it sort of twisted. And I may get some shit for that, but that's fine. I feel like mainstream science has the idea that consciousness literally is created from the brain. That's the wrong outlook. Consciousness is what created the fucking brain. So, like, it's like it's the most beautiful possible way to hide something, right? It's like, how would a light find itself? Like, how would a light find light? It couldn't. It creates the idea of darkness to begin with. Like, without light, like, darkness wouldn't even exist.
It's like Tron.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Well, I mean, you know, I love, honestly, I love the simulation theory. I think simulation theory is a great theory. It's flawed in some aspects, mainly in the aspect of, you know, that humans have the capability of making something far more advanced than, you know, than blah, 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 blah. Like, what created that thing then? That's sort of like, whatever's the most advanced being that's running this simulation, right? That the simulation theory talks about, like, there's sort of just this simulation, and there's like an ultimate sort of race that's sort of running this, like, whatever. The problem with that is, the problem with that though is, like, who's that? It's you. Like, it's always just you. Like, it doesn't matter who that is that would be running the simulation. At the back end of it all is still you, and it's consciousness.
Some people claim it's extraterrestrials.
That would still be you, like, because they would be the things living this simulation, right?
Maybe.
So they're you living the simulation.
What if we're not living the simulation? What if we're making the simulation?
Doesn't make any. What do you mean? That I'm down with that.
What if our dreams are us controlling other little deals? What if that's what we shut off?
Regardless, it's still you're still at the center of that. That's the beauty of it. No matter what, you're still at the center of it all.
But we're not just the center of it, because we're out overlooking everything. You can't overlook everything from just the center.
How else would you?
From around.
Right.
In a spherical.
Which would be
it's
centered.
Like a fat joke, you know what I'm saying?
But like, regardless of, like, if you've played virtual reality stuff, right? Like, you played like the Oculus Rift or like
Kicked my brother's
VR.
cat for it, but yes, I have played it. It was the coolest experience I've ever done.
I mean, you've gotta definitely clear the path. Clear the path when you're playing.
I thought it was a zombie. Okay, I'm playing Resident Evil. I'm walking through the brush.
Yeah, no, that's scary.
I'm scared. This cat hits my leg. I give it a good nudge. It hits the wall. My brother yells at me. I apologize, and I kept going.
Okay? Is the cat okay?
I don't know. He's got 5 of them, dude. I don't even know which one I kicked.
Oh, I hope the cat's okay. Meow.
Come to think about it, there was a cat that ran away shortly after that. But he
It
came
was
back.
probably that
so
cat. He was probably like,
so
I'm out. I'm
I
gone.
wouldn't blame him.
I don't want to
was saying
get
this
kicked
for a couple
again.
days.
I don't want to get kicked again.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I
we
love
digress.
animals.
We
I
digress.
love animals.
I know you do.
I
And
have to throw that out.
that is a completely sarcastic, like, yeah.
It was an accident, but
Yeah.
it was a good game.
Yeah, no,
Highly
for sure.
recommend it.
Well, I mean, VR is like you don't know what's around you, literally.
No.
So like,
You're
and-
submersed in
and
it.
you're absolutely in it. Like, so if something touches you, yeah, like
It's crazy. I mean, it is what it is. It's a virtual reality. It
Right.
creates an alternate universe around you
Right.
that you believe is real that isn't.
Exactly.
Which is, in a sense,
what simulation theory sort of is. Right. And that's exactly like that's why I love simulation theory so much, is because like the idea of it is like right on point, I think. However, the flaw in it is that there's somebody running the show. It's like, yeah, but it's you. It's you. You're the one doing it, right? And that's the thing. And the you that I'm talking about isn't Alex, isn't the name of you. It isn't, that thing. It's you. It's the thing hearing right now. And
it's
trust
like
me, that's
I'm
not that.
Making you do what you do, per se, but you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if I wasn't doing this with you.
Fair, yes, that's yes. What I mean though is like, even like at virtual reality, you said you get submersed in this like sort of like other thing, right? It's still you're getting submersed. That you at the beginning of your is the thing we're talking about. It's the I behind I am sad, I am cold, I am Daniel, I am blind, I am
team.
Right. The I am team.
Really is there.
Absolutely. I know, I've seen it. It's a gestalt thing for sure.
But it really is there, because you can't say there's no I am team, because there is an I am team.
It's true.
Without the team, without you, there wouldn't be the team.
Exactly. No, but see, that's the thing, is like I is what it is, right? Like I is what we're talking about. I is that nothing that we're talking about. And that thing is universal. That's what you are. That's what this is. That's what that is. That's what my dogs are. That's what the cat you kicked was.
H2O.
H2O. That's exactly right. Everything that's happening is you. And it doesn't make sense. It's never going to make sense. Like there's why would that make sense? Like, why would that make sense? There's no point to it making sense either. Because if it makes sense, the illusion falls apart, the play is over, and the game is boring. Like,
so now it's a game. So now
I mean,
it's an alternate
it's a game.
Reality.
Yeah, it's a game.
System.
It's a VR
it's a
system.
Simulation.
It's a simulation.
Damn it.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a story. It's a movie. It's whatever you want it to be. But it's a magic trick. Ultimately, it's a magic trick. It's an illusion. It's like an optical illusion almost, but it's a reality illusion. It's an illusion of existence. And it's like once you see, like it's like seeing how a magic trick works, like seeing behind the mirrors, right? And going, oh, that's not a mirror at all. That's actually like glass. And behind that is a mirror. And in that little room is what stuff is going on. But I didn't even realize there was a room there, because I just thought, yeah, sorry. Because I thought that the room was really there, or that the room wasn't there, right? But now I see the room because there's somebody in there. Once you see the trick, it's like, oh shit. And the illusion's ruined for you.
Dude,
and you see the illusion. You could, yeah, absolutely. You see that man behind the curtain, and all of a sudden you're like, Oh,
It's not
so
really this godlike entity. It's just this little puppet
it's
master.
just this guy, and the guy that turns out to be is you. You turn out to be the great and powerful wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And and but once you see sort of the curtain, right? All of a sudden, the game's not very fun anymore. You have to sort of convince yourself of the curtain again. You have to pretend the curtain's there again, right? Which, don't worry, you're fucking great at. So you won't have a hard time doing that.
Easy to
But,
fabricate things you're used to.
huh?
So it's easy to fabricate things that you're used to.
Absolutely, it's conditioned in our the way we
Muscle
are.
memory.
Yeah, exactly. It's our DNA almost, right? It's cellular memory almost. Like how many eons have we as humans just sort of circled ourselves, right? Especially if linearity, I don't know what the right word is for that actually. But linear time, if that's not a real thing, right?
Yeah.
And let's say at the end of Daniel dying, right, I get to go live Alex. Well, that would just loop this same sort of like time span back over again, right? And I'm doing it right now.
Sorry if you had to do that.
It's what I'm doing right now.
Boring.
I'm doing it right now. And tell me about it. I've decided to do the Daniel side.
It's true.
It's boring on this side too. At least right this second. Sometimes it's not quite so boring. It's a pretty crazy. It's definitely a crazy game. Yeah.
Like reflooring a house, dude. How's that been for you?
Fucking, I don't know.
You tired yet?
Not
okay,
quite
we got a
how
massage
it's
tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll enjoy.
I got your back, dude.
We'll enjoy.
Well, Carly does.
Cool. But like, you know, we joke and stuff, but it's like it's sort of, that's the cosmic joke though. Like it's not really a joke. Like I really am you and you really are me, and like that's not really a joke. That's the joke. It's like that's real. What you just said was real.
What is that song? I started a joke and got the whole world crying.
Yeah, like I started a joke.
Yes.
Who is that?
I do not know.
I want to say it's Bob Dylan's son. Jacob.
It came out longer ago.
It's the Wallflowers, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, I know it probably is an older song. I bet you're right. Oh, the Bee Gees.
No.
That could be a cover. Hold up. Let's see. Original. So it's just saying the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees, yeah. I started a joke. No, it's the one. Maybe it's a different song? No, it's the one. Barry Maurice and Robin Gibb, man.
1968. Yeah, that's totally him. He looks like Tiny Tim.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you're saying the same one I'm saying.
Totally.
Like yeah. It's the one they decided to put for their YouTube like clip art, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The thumbnail. Yeah. They chose a wrong photo. It looks like he's about to preach something to me.
It does. It totally does. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah. Dude, I love Tiny Tim, though. That was great. That was a great little reference.
Did he ever do anything else other than that?
He did a lot, dude.
That's
he
crazy.
did a lot. Like a lot. That guy has like a lot of discography. Go check it out on your
kept
streaming.
Recording him? Like, this is going somewhere someday.
Hey, man, but he was right.
Speaking of
that. He would do a lot of kids stuff. Like he'd do a lot of kid shows and stuff where he'd go and like guest star on kid shows and stuff.
Yo, Tiptoe Through the Window is not a kid song. How is that a kid song?
Well,
whoa.
Tiptoe.
Whoa. Are you tiptoeing through their window? Creepy.
I can play this on here. I can play this on here because we're not monetizing the show. So
that is not a kid song.
It's not. I mean,
unless it's like Sting is like, I was watching you. I tiptoed through the window. Oh, Tiny Tim.
I think the gimmick that he kept, like what kept him going, was sort of the ukulele falsetto giant, right? Like this guy who's like 7 feet tall,
he was a big guy.
just a massive guy who plays this tiny little guitar and has this tiny little voice. That's not really tiny. I mean, it's actually a very powerful voice. So, because in order to sing like that in falsetto, it takes quite a bit of oomph. If you've ever sang falsetto,
I've tried in the bathroom. I get yelled at into it. But.
You get yelled at in the bathroom. What a horrible place to get yelled at.
Well, it's usually not my bathroom.
Oh, fair. No, okay.
Why are you singing in my bathroom?
Why are you singing in there? You're like, I always sing in the
I like
shower.
the acoustics.
Yeah, you're like, I always sing in the shower. They're like, what? I think that I mentioned your name actually before on one of these podcasts.
I think you said that.
Yeah, it was, I think, on the second podcast. Maybe.
I want to say
or third.
You told me.
Maybe it was the third one, actually. I think it was the one with Dustin Takina. Because we started talking about religions.
Oh, yes.
You down to chat about sort of some of the stuff that you've checked out over the years?
I mean, I'm always down. Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, what do you want me to
tell me like what kind of shit you've just like, what kind of religions and stuff you've sort of looked into? And
I mean, I've looked into a few different types. Not quite in depth of most. I grew up I wouldn't say Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. I grew up believing.
Then that means you're Catholic by God. Sorry, homie.
Yeah, no, it's true. I was trying to get unbaptized, but I slept in.
And
it was like
what are you
6
gonna do?
PM.
What are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah. So I am technically, but my mother was in a form of Christian beliefs. That I also grew up with a friend who was Jehovah's Witness. So kind of over the years, learned a little bit about it, a lot of different beliefs, and then over the past little bit, I wanted to learn a little bit more about like Muslims and Buddhists and those kind of beliefs. I guess Buddhist isn't really. Is this technically a religion, isn't it?
I mean, it's funny because like technically, it is like Buddhism is a. I don't like to say belief system because it's not a belief system. It's a way of living. Life. Yeah, it's a way of living. So it's like it's not really that. I mean, I guess you could consider it a religion. You know, it is considered one.
Because if you're going with that route,
I mean, I've got the teaching of the Buddha.
Okay.
Which you get in the same drawer as you get this fucking guy right here. So like I would consider, mainstream society to say, yes, it's a religion, but I don't think Buddhism.
Okay. So, well, then since we're on that, would you consider the Church of Latter-day Saints a religion, or would you consider that a belief system? Would you consider that, I'm not going to say the other word, but I know we're all thinking of the cult.
I would say, a cult is a belief system as well.
Yeah. It's a way of life.
Yeah, and so is a religion. Like a religion's a belief system. And that's the other thing. Yeah, so it's like I believe that yes, the LDS religion is a belief system. It's a religion, just like Christianity is a religion, and just like Jonestown was.
Yeah,
a religion,
and just like the children of God, just like Hell's Gate.
All of those are religions.
Shinrikyo.
So yes, exactly.
Like it's
the realism or whatever. Yes, Heaven's Gate. All of those are religions. So, and I'll get a lot of fucking flack for this one. Every religion is a cult.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. That's however, some are more beneficial cults than others. I will say that. You can get some beneficial stuff out of some of them, but they're still ultimately telling you that there's a power outside of yourself. That's why I don't call Buddhism a religion, because it's telling you where the power is.
Yeah,
like it's flat out telling you where the power is, and it's not sugarcoating anything. And it's not trying to give you some grand idea of something you can't verify. It's giving you something that you can verify right now. And so anything that sort of teaches that teaches sort of something you can verify right now, which is why like science is beneficial, right? There's parameters to science and physics, right? And the world we live in, the physical
world. Let's clarify. Science is beneficial, not Scientology.
Right,
science.
Yeah. I will say parts of science. I will say parts of Scientology are also beneficial, but we won't dive into that right.
So that's a part of every cult in a sense.
Right. Absolutely. The Bible has beneficial fucking shit in it. A lot of it.
But it also has a lot of non-beneficial stuff.
It all depends on how you look at it.
Strike down your female wife companion for cheating on you or any of that.
Right.
It's the same with the Quran.
That wasn't in the original stuff.
No,
that was rewrites. Rewrites by
Which also makes me wonder, like, at some point, who do you let rewrite this?
Yeah.
Who do you let rewrite these? Because
why would you let somebody rewrite it?
Why would you, for one? But who are you letting?
Yeah.
Who picks who you're letting? Because a lot of these rewritings seem to be focusing solely on
their agenda-based
belief of white being the best within documented religion.
Yeah, you're talking in the belief structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we won't get down that route either.
Yeah, and that's another rabbit hole. But I agree. Like we've allowed people with very closed minds to rewrite a book meant to be the most open-minded read of your entire life, right? So it's like
a lot of closed-minded people do a lot of things, i.e. run this country. And we're still letting people do this. Like, we're letting closed-minded people just take over everything.
Yeah.
Like, how? Why let so much closed-mindedness? But it's to get everybody to think the same belief. It's for that. It's for control. If you get everybody believing the exact same things, your sheep are not going to be led astray. Now, this isn't this whole like, oh, lion, not sheep bullshit. That's not what it is.
Yeah,
it's don't follow a belief system because you're told to believe it. Open your goddamn mind.
Yeah. Do empirical research. Those of you who don't know what empirical means, I know I've used that word a couple times now. Empirical means by way of one's own resources and one's own experience. So meaning
don't follow clickbait links.
Right, yes. And don't just read headlines. Read the fucking article. If you're going to read something, read the whole thing, including the bottom of the page where it says if it's satire. Yes, and when it was written. My God. 4 years ago. Like, yeah. You can't believe
it happened before the internet was constructed. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? This was the pyramids. Like,
I'm pretty sure this article said something about King Tutankhamun.
Yeah, like it's like people don't fully read stuff, right? And they don't fully research. But like empirical discovery has nothing to do with research. It has everything to do with empirical research, right? Like, so it's like, it has nothing to do with, I didn't mean to say research. I meant to say intellect. Has nothing to do with intellectual research. Has everything to do with empirical research. For instance, I could tell you honey tastes like liquid sugar that has been somewhat burnt by maybe the sun could have burnt it.
That tastes liquid sugar. It tastes nothing like honey.
But that does nothing, right? Like that doesn't explain fucking honey to you at all. If you taste honey, though, you then have an empirical understanding of what honey is, right? What it tastes like.
In that, yes, I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, when you're doing this research, you can't go into it believing what other people have led you to believe about said research. You can go into it, say you're open-minded by reading it. But if you're going to go into it with this understanding of what somebody else has already told you, and that's what your main belief is, and you're not going to let yourself form your own opinion, then it's going to cloud your judgment. I.e., full circle, you asked some of my beliefs, Satanism. If you think of Satanism Most of the people out there, when they think of Satanism, I'm going to go
They
paint a
miss.
pentagram in my garage.
Yeah, they miss.
I'm going to put candles. I'm going to sacrifice my neighbor's cat. I'm going to, yes, and I'm gonna take a newborn child, gut it open, and let it happen in my garage.
All while listening to Slayer, right?
Oh, hell yeah. God, I love Slayer. You know what? Speaking of which, it kind of
Slayer's
sucks.
good. Slayer is good.
It is. But a lot of
Slayer
these
is
like old big metal bands are having some bad stuff come out. I'm not even gonna get into this. But anyway, that's
Slayer
not what it's about.
is
Like
is
Satanism.
not
Satanism is
what.
all
Yeah,
about a belief in yourself,
it's
you know?
exactly.
And if you start reading into it and you read the Satanic Bible, as contradictory as it sounds and as calling out of the Bible as it sounds and as big of a fuck you to the Bible as it sounds, that's what it is. Not necessarily the original writings, but more on the new sense, the more along the lines of you have to devote yourself to this ultimate power. You have to shed your blood for this ultimate power. If you do not do this, you will not be accepted into the gates of heaven. You have to abide by these rules. No, this is more of saying like you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing about Satanism. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
It's you are the ultimate being, like what this is about. You are the ultimate entity in all of reality. Without you, nothing else will be anything. And
Exactly.
if you can't learn to control your own beliefs and believe in your own self and know that you're destined for great things, you're not gonna be happy. Like, I don't know. I'm not telling you to go believe in Satanism or anything, but that's just saying believe in yourself.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Read more between the lines and not read what people have instructed you to believe.
Exactly. It's like going back to the honey analogy and taking one's biases into it, right? If I were to tell you, you've never tried honey before, and I were to tell you honey actually tastes like dog shit, like it's not good.
Oh, why would I want to try that?
You'd be like, I'm not going to go try it. No, just try it. Like, go give it a shot. Try it. You'll have an empirical discovery of what, that it tastes like dog shit.
Really good.
Yeah, but you won't want to try it, right? Because
like
you'll take your
own. Burnt by the sun.
Yeah. But yeah, if you take those biases in with you, though, right? Just like if somebody hears you say, "Well, I'm a Satanist," and they go, "Oh my God!" So I shouldn't talk to you because you're going to kill me and my whole family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's them
if
basically going,
I'm not going to heaven.
Yeah. That's basically them going, honey tastes like dog shit.
Yeah. That's exactly.
And I know that's the truth. That's the truth, is that honey tastes like dog shit.
If anything, I believe that Satanism, in a sense, could be the ultimate key to understanding what the Bible really wanted to be about originally.
I agree with that.
Because if you look at the document, or if you look at the Bible, you read the Bible, Lucifer was a fallen angel because he told God not to treat his people, us being humans, like they're shit, not to make them worship him, but actually to treat them like they're equals, to actually give them hope, give them something to look forward to. And he said, no, they are going to be my people that are going to respect me and bow down and drop to their knees for me. So guess what? You don't get to be in heaven either, motherfucker. You challenge me, guess who's got the big dick now?
Yeah, see, which is basically like, if you go against this invisible
sorry for
being.
My language.
No, you're good. This is uncensored. You're good. It's like going, if I don't believe in what other people have told me this being that I have zero contact with, right? You just have to have faith in the fact that it's listening to you. Don't worry. Like, that's why I love asking Christians. I say, when you pray, who answers? Because like that fucks with your head so bad. Because you answer. Whoops.
I mean,
that just peeled back the fucking trick. I just showed you the room, right? And it's like, oh fuck.
I know of a situation where somebody was involved in an accident recently, and they said that they prayed and they prayed and they prayed, and the other person said, "Well, who'd you pray to?" And well, I prayed to God. And well, did he answer? Well, forever I didn't think he would, and then all of a sudden my prayers came true. And I wanted to test him so bad, but I'm like, now's not the time. Definitely not the time. But I wanted to say, was it God? Was it that He finally answered you, or was it that you finally made it happen?
Yeah,
You finally manifested it.
you finally actually had faith in yourself.
Your energy finally
Yes.
created it. Nothing would answer you. You were getting frustrated because you literally said, I was getting frustrated because my prayers were not being answered. And finally, all of a sudden, if something's not going to do it for you, if it's not going to do it for you, you're going to make it happen.
Yep.
It's facts. It's your subconscious. It's like the whole mentality. I don't know what the scientific name is behind it, but it's a mother could have so much strength that if her child is trapped under a car, she can lift it up. And it's
just mad adrenaline all of a sudden.
Yes. Like it's your body making it happen. It's you making it happen. Yep. She couldn't do that. There's no possible way that her body could lift up a car.
Right.
But in that instant moment, somehow she has the strength.
Yep. It's like you hear, it's like you hear about people like, I watched this fucking ridiculous video. It was on like Live Leak when Live Leak was still a thing. And I don't know if it's because I haven't even looked anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure that got canned.
Yeah, but like it wasn't. It was a save. It was a scary save, but it was a save of this mother like had this baby like dangling over a balcony, kind of like the Michael Jackson incident, and she dropped the fucking baby, and the baby like fucking dropped down like 5 fucking stories, and this dude ran fucking over and caught the kid, like. Jumped like 3 cars, like boom, 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 and like ran underneath and like caught the kid. I don't know how he got there as quick as he could. I don't know how he's able to do it, except for that he didn't exist at that moment. All that existed was life, period. Reality, what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
I read somewhere a long time ago, and I tried. I know it's silly, and I'm sure we all tried it as a child. But the mind over matter thing, where you could actually defy gravity,
let a thing like dangle and like have it go to. I would do that one.
Yes, or you could like create your own. I don't know. I watched a Bulletproof Monk once, and I was like, oh, if he can do it, I can make it happen. So I tried to make steps, tried to run. Well, I was wrong. I was like, I'm gonna try and scale this wall real quick. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
But you can make things happen. Maybe not immaterial objects form out of thin air, but you create your life.
There's a weird noise that's happening. It might be your mic.
It is dying on me.
Oh, I bet that's what's going on. Okay. Sorry about that. We kind of had like a little technical difficulty for a split second.
Quite fun.
Yeah, but we're back. So we were talking about mind over matter, though. That's kind of what you were jumping into. We were talking about, manifestation, essentially, like making things happen, right? Making things happen. And it's because, you were talking about your whoever this was like, basically they had gotten so frustrated with praying and not getting their prayers answered that they finally just went, whatever, like, I'll just fine. We'll just drop it. I guess it's just not going to get worried about it. And in that moment, it's like pure acceptance is the answer to a prayer. Like if you can actually be fully acceptant to whatever is going on. If you've ever gotten a tattoo, then you get the idea of being able to just sort of accept what's going on. Because, I remember I got asked a couple of months ago by somebody, because I had mentioned, suffering is created in suffering is essentially the hanging on of opinions, right? And it's all sort of like, if you can drop all opinions, then your suffering goes with it. And somebody's response was, well, how about a little torture? And I didn't respond with this. I should have responded with this. But, I mean, a tattoo is that. So, yeah, like opinion equates well there. Like, because if you want a tattoo, which you have a tattoo, Alex, you know.
Yep.
You have a couple.
I had to make sure. I forget about them sometimes.
I believe this one actually was shaded by you.
It was.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
All night.
It's still, yeah, all night.
Capitol the next day and running on underwear.
And due for a protest.
No,
that was our protest
was the
against.
underrun?
That
Or
was
was it
that was far. No, that was later. That was the saving of. That was that we were trying to get the hookah was okay to be inside, and it worked. It worked. They passed it, and it was fucking awesome. I don't know where it is now. I know we were kind of grandfathered into sort of like a 5-year idea. I don't know whatever happened with the end of that.
5 years passed a while.
I was gonna say it's been past 5 years now, so I'm not sure. But we digress. Anyways, getting a tattoo though, you know, you voluntarily go through hours of pain.
You pay.
You not only do you voluntarily, you actually pay to get it done.
You pay for pleasure. Pain for pay for pain, and pain for pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. But you're okay with that pain because you like, I like this. This is a good. I want this thing. Like so, but if somebody were to walk up to you and say, well, let's take this knife and cut your arm open. I don't want that pain, And it's because, I'm not saying I want that pain.
But some people do, and they go to a specialist for that.
That's true, I guess.
It's called scarification or branding.
That's true, actually, yeah.
No,
that's
true.
Form of
body modification. We're not here to judge.
Oh, there you go, though.
But you don't want to be stabbed in the kidney,
Right, right.
I think that's what Daniel's getting at.
Yes, obviously, nobody wants that, right? But if you are ever in that situation, right, the only option you have is to either be completely upset and basically complain about the moment and cry about it and be sorrowful about it, or treat it like a tattoo and breathe through it and get through it as best as you can and as easily and as smoothly as you can. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a shot of whiskey, then breath works miracles. But the point is it's still it's a feeling, right? It's an energetic feeling that's occurring, regardless of how intense and horrible that feeling may be. It's something that if you're not going to live through, you're not going to live through it, and that's that. But the beauty is that body won't live through it. You will. And that's the part that sort of gets hard to talk about, because it's like, well, what do you mean? And if you're asking, what do you mean? That's because you think you're still that body. You're not catching what we're saying here. We're literally saying that body isn't you. All of it is, which means that body's part of you. Sure.
You live on.
Yes, exactly. It's just like a leaf falls from the tree and dies, right? Does the tree die?
Sometimes the leaf doesn't always die.
Sometimes, right?
Sometimes the leaf carries a seed and then plants a new tree.
Yep.
But you never die. You live on. You live on within everybody, and that's not just mentally, because you're everybody. You're everything.
Right.
You guys, if you think about that way, when you go to a funeral and they'll live on through us. Yes. Yeah, they will.
Right now. They're doing it. They're doing it currently. It's already the case.
You have so many memories with that person is because you lived that through both sides.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's what makes them so easily to be, I guess, so detailed.
Yeah.
Because how can you have that strong memories? So many memories. If a flash drive in a computer can only hold so much, how can your brain hold 32, 33, 34 years worth of memory?
Right. Yeah. Even more, right?
Even more.
It's because it's infinite intelligence at work. It's consciousness. It's you in its entirety. It's the dream living the dream. The cloud, yeah. It's the fucking cloud, man. I love it because technology it's coming like full circle. Like we're making the world so accessible that it's mimicking what we already do, what we already are.
And that's why they fear that computers will overtake us, is because we're making computers more like us.
I love that. I that's one of my favorite like worries out there because it makes me giggle a little bit. Okay, so let's say AI takes over and robots, humans are done, right? Robots are all that's left. Cool. Then consciousness is then robots, right? Like, so don't worry, you're just going to be a robot then. You're not going to be a human, you'll be a robot. So that's fine.
I could go back to cutting my hand off and be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There's a new one. A vending machine just gave me a new hand.
It was only one, I don't know, what, Bitcoin or whatever. What's the?
I got asked this year when I did my taxes. Have you purchased any?
Oh wow, really?
Cryptocurrency?
They're taxing
like,
it now, huh?
Shit.
Crazy.
So,
well, there goes that.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I knew it wasn't going to take too long. I knew it wasn't going to take too long for the powers that be to get their slice.
It's like, how can you tax currency that isn't currency?
Yeah, how do you tax data?
How do you do that? It's not a real thing. It's not.
How do you charge for air?
Yeah.
How do you charge for water?
Hold on. While we're getting this whole charging for air, people pay for it.
People do.
People go to oxygen bars to breathe in a mask that's got flavors into it.
Yeah.
You really think they're just pumping?
I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. I get filtered water. Like I don't just drink like just any water. I go pay for water.
In your water system. That's okay for you.
Not all the time, just to be
Not all
clear.
the time.
Just sometimes when they die.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, my cousin, thankfully, I have a cousin that's on the force, and he texted me, and he's like, hey, just so you know, like, don't use your water. Like, they got a like thing on your water. I was like, what? He's like, a boil notice. He's like, don't drink your water. And I was like, okay, I just got out of the shower. So what do you mean? And he's like, they found a dead raccoon in the tank out there. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, I was like, so happy I just showered and you texted me that after I showered. Thankfully, it was lifted within, I think like within 48 hours. I don't think it was.
Oh yeah, they caught it really fast.
Yeah, they cleaned. They were. I think by the time he was texting me, they actually were already like, they had already been taking it out, drained it. They were cleaning it all, and so we actually, by the time I showered, it probably wasn't even that water anymore. It was probably from the other tanks.
That's what we're gonna say.
That's what we're gonna go for. We're just gonna say that. Whatever. It is what it is, though, right? Like, I mean, what am I gonna do? It's just like cleaning up shit, right? Like,
I mean,
it
you're
sucks.
fine now.
And I don't do well with shit. I don't do well with cleaning shit up. But like, if it gets on your hands or whatever, like, don't think about the fact that it's shit on your hands, and just go clean your hands when you can, right?
Hey,
like,
a lot of soap.
Yeah, and like, the same kind of thing happens there. It's like I could have washed myself in like gross dead raccoon, but as soon as I found out like the water that they have now, is good, I just ran my shower for fucking like an hour and a half, and then hopped in it, because I was like, by that time the shit in my pipes was pumping out, this other tank's water. So
yeah, if you had anything in there.
Right. Yeah. If I even had anything, that's the other thing too. So it's all just about like, how do you, it's not about what happens to you, right? It's about how you respond to what happens to you. And that's sort of like what I'm getting at with the whole, getting a tattoo and like, and all of that. It's like responding to that is where your power is. And that's all about you. That's all about, it's not somebody else is in control of that. It's you, and it's like, I think that I think that the biggest issue right now, not just with like, you know, the coronavirus and the riots and, you know, the ridiculous stuff coming out about people, you know, in the news, and, you know, people getting outed by like also just this crazy uprising that's happening, is people that see, right, that we are all sort of like, even if they don't fully like see like you are me and I'm you, but the idea that like Earth as its entirety, right, human civilization as its own thing is one, right, that there's those people then clashing with people that are set in their own opinions about what it should be, right? And it's like that's the main issue that's going on right now. It's not, you know, one side versus this side. It's both sides versus the whole. And that's sort of the part that everybody I think is missing.
It's us versus them.
It's us versus them, right? And that's sort of, but it's not. It's realizing it's
So
just you.
Who's them?
Exactly. And them is
It's
just the
not just-
boogeyman. Them is the boogeyman. Them is whoever you can blame that's not you. It's an external, you know, it's oh, well, it's not my fault that this happened. It's such and such. It's them. It's they did it, you know. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but guess what? When you get down to the nuts and bolts of the universe, you find out that you are ultimately completely alone. It's not us versus anything. It's you. Not you versus you either. That's a stupid game. Think about how dumb that game sounds. You versus you. That's what's going on right now. That's literally what's going on right now. Is it's you versus you. But there shouldn't be a versus. It's just you. There isn't a versus. See?
That's what everybody needs to realize.
There
The
is.
problem is, yeah, there's too much separation.
Absolutely. It's all about division. It's about creating verses. It's, oh, well, this didn't work. Let's make these two people not like each other. What about these two people not like each other? Maybe these two people not like each other. All by putting different stuff out. You clean your house. Yeah, you clean your house. You don't clean your house. You guys should hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
You like the smell of vanilla and you hate the smell of vanilla. You guys should hate each other.
Fight.
You know? Yeah, fight to the death. Oh, one of you likes death. One of you likes life. You should hate each other. You have a different opinion from somebody else. Hate each other. That's sort of the idea that everybody seems to be pushing out nowadays. It's like,
don't band together.
Yeah.
Don't become one.
Yeah. You build pyramids by like making sure that you don't, you know, you just do it by yourself, right?
I could build a pyramid by myself.
One of the most advanced fucking civilizations that we know about in the modern world, and we like to pretend that they just did it all on their own, right? I mean, in a way they did. It was just you. It was just you. You did it all on your own with the help of fucking thousands of yous that all got it and went, yeah, we're all the same fucking thing.
We're just like a giant Sims game.
Yeah, essentially.
Back to
I like
simulation.
that. Back to the simulation. That's why I love simulation theory, man. But it's like, it's not some computer running something, right? It's just, it's life. It's the dream, sort of like living the dream for the dream's sake, and that's it.
I like that term, living the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. Yeah, because it's like, I love saying that.
Too.
It's funny because like most people will just say it sarcastically. You know? Oh, living the dream. It's like, but you are. You really are. And like, that's pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool. But it's just semantics at that point, right? It's not somebody actually going, oh, am I really living the dream? Am I really living the dream? Like, this is the dream. It really is. This is it. What other one would there be?
And I read somewhere the other day that they believe that's why they're trying to, or they frown so highly upon psychedelics. Is because psychedelics allow you to become one with everything around you, even for that brief moment.
Yeah.
But it opens up that connection
Yep.
to that everything that
Right.
you need in order to. I'm not, once again, I'm not saying go do psychedelics, but I'm not saying
Right.
not to.
Right. It lifts the veil, though. Yeah. It
It
totally. It
totally
says
lifts the
says,
veil.
hey, here's how it is, you know,
Oh
and that's why
man,
they're illegal. It's not because they're worried that you're gonna be all harmful and like hurt yourself or hurt other people. No, they're worried that you'll see the truth of it all, and
they're worried that you're going to realize
the
that
world control you anymore.
they can't do this little number anymore.
Right. You don't have to take psychedelics to achieve
No,
that state either, like at
no.
all. You can do it by meditating. You could sit for fuck, I've done it in an hour. I've been able to reach a ridiculous state that could only be explained via a hallucinogenic drug just by sitting and focusing my attention inside myself for an hour. I did it for an hour and I started fucking I started like hearing colors, which
Stanley
doesn't
hears
make
colors.
sense. And like, yeah. And so like he would be like, I got you. I get what you mean. And that's the mind opening up to a new way of seeing the world, right? That's what hallucinogens do. That's what meditation will do. That's what fucking going for a jog will do. I have a book, actually, it's in here. I think it's inside, but it's a book. It's called 255 Ways, or 250, I don't know, some number, ways to alter your consciousness without using drugs. And there's so many different ways. You know, there's ways that are not healthy, like sleep deprivation, starvation, thirst, um, you know,
Any form of
sensory
getting yourself into a
deprivation.
delusional state.
Yes, any type of that kind of thing. There's also, you know, pain and, you know, self-infliction on pain. There's also healthy ways, right? Like meditation, you know, eating healthy. If you eat healthy, yes, that creates a separate form of consciousness. Like it's all about what you do, period, on a
So
day-to-day
the endorphin
thing.
overload, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like people
Tattoos.
exercise, people will eat food, you know, you can eat just regular food. That'll make you just, you know, you can draw.
Orgasm from food.
Yeah. Yeah.
From that certain sense.
Yeah.
People
You
who
can
orgasm while getting a tattoo.
yeah, you can write books, you know, it's an altering of consciousness is simply just, I mean, we could do it right now. I can do it with you right now and alter our
I hope so. Wait, what are we talking about?
Just take 15 seconds. Let's take 15 seconds and count each second, but count it as the breath comes into your chest. Okay. So 1, 2, and we'll go to 15. This is 7. And there you go.
I was all fucking staring, doing the whole magic eye game. Yeah.
Your consciousness changed. Literally.
Watching
Just in that
dance.
just in that nice. Just in that little, it was 30 seconds, maybe a minute that we sat there and did that. Just taking a little bit of focused, attentive time doing anything will alter your consciousness. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you do it, the better it gets. And the more in depth it gets. And the more psychedelic it gets. Huh?
You have to clear your mind.
Absolutely. I mean, but that doing just that helps that. It helps that process, right? It makes it so you go, like, even towards the end of it, my mind was starting to get that monkey chatter going, right? It was going, hey man, hurry it up. This is a podcast. And I'm sitting here going, and then another part of my mind, right, went, shh, you shut up. We're working on something, and it's picking which side of the mind you want to listen to, right? There's a side that likes to talk and it never shuts up. Then there's a side that just listens. That's the side I give more attention to, is the side that just listens. I try to anyways. I won't say I do, because I would be lying. I try to give that side more attention. But I've been conditioned, as has most of society, to listen to that voice. That voice is you. If you don't listen to that voice, then who's hearing that voice? If that voice is me, then who's this other me that's like hearing it? Because like that voice won't shut the fuck up. And if I want it to shut up and it's me, it should shut up. So why is it not shutting up? It's because it's not you. You've just been told it was you. All
It's
these
like it touches the point where you say one side wants to stop, so we'll go back to the podcast. Well, the other side's telling you, no, let's stay here. Like,
they're both talking. Why is there sides?
Because you have the side that's saying, let's just stay in this state. You have the side saying, let's get back to the podcast. You have the side that's saying,
then I have the real one. Yeah, then I have the real
one
one that's just actually like watching it all happen and eating popcorn like Michael Jackson.
You guys are just like stupid.
Like that's like, I love that little gif or however you say it, because it's perfect. It's a perfect analogy to what and who you really are. You're just the witness to this whole thing, and you're such a volatile witness. Right?
You're just experiencing it.
I don't know if volatile is the right word. I don't think that is the right word. But you're so important, right, to this that like without you witnessing it, it doesn't exist. And that actually can get proven by quantum physics. The slit test proves, that the reaction of a certain thing depends on, what is observing it. And the fact that it's being observed to begin with. It has to be observed to even have substance. Otherwise, it's all of it at the same time. It's both options, until it's observed and quantized as a certain option. I'm getting a tattoo in a couple weeks. I'm really excited about it. I'm getting one right here. And it's the Gestalt cube, which is, it's a cube within a cube. I've shown it numerous times on the show, but I'll go ahead and show it one more time, because why not? This is the Gestalt cube. I've shown it to you before.
Perspective.
Yeah. Is it the, is there a cube? Yeah, is it a cube in a room, or is it a cube, is a corner missing from a cube,
Mm-hmm.
And both answers are right. Both answers exist simultaneously. It depends on which perspective you're looking from as to which is real, right? Which is in reality. In reality, neither are real. It's just
Schrodinger's cat.
And it's just a pattern. Exactly. Schrodinger's cat. Yeah.
Do some research.
We've talked about Schrodinger's cat. I think me and John talked about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
last episode. But yeah, essentially, like, it's it. That's it. You're the one. You're the master and commander in this whole thing, and no matter what, that's always going to be the case. And kind of going back again, full circle to to Satanism and stuff. Anton LaVey saw this. He saw this clear as day, and said, "Hey, like, stop letting other people control you." And
I still think that he had a weird way of.
he had an ego to him still.
Yeah.
He definitely had a agenda at play, right? If you develop any type of religion, you have an agenda at play.
And that is a religion.
Yes,
Is a
absolutely.
religion. And it really was, it is a big fuck you to Christianity.
It is, yes, and it's
that's
intentionally
what he went for.
Yeah,
that's why the Ten Commandments are the Ten Commandments in their own way.
correct.
It was a complete mockery.
Correct. And yeah, so it's worth looking at with an open mind, right? Mm-hmm. It's worth going. Does the honey taste like sugary water, or does it taste like dog shit?
I'm gonna go find out.
Exactly, and that's the move. Try organic honey; it's best.
I do like organic honey.
Me too. I like the kind that you can get the honeycomb like in the jar with it.
Where do you find that?
You should be able to find it just kind of. I've been able to find it basically any of the stores I go to. I think Winco has it. Winco's great. Harmon's is usually good. That's kind of crazy. Could be because of what's going down in the.
Oh, this is a while back.
Oh, we'll go check again.
Way before the Rona. Yeah. A year ago when we tried to do some kind of like chia seed drink in the morning.
Yeah.
We like soak chia seeds in water overnight.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Mix them with honey and lemon and swallow it.
And then you gag it down. It's like wheatgrass, man.
Yeah, no.
But it's good for you. Kombucha's the same way, man. Like, I like nice flavory kombucha. I like nice flavory kombucha because it's like nasty tasting. But dude, the effects though, they're great. They're so great. Like, you get just this. I get this great rejuvenated like feeling every time I drink a kombucha. Of course, I always chug it. That's like my trick. Is I'll drink the whole thing. Well, yeah.
It's probably psychedelic right there.
It probably is a slight amount. I've been waiting for fucking years. When's that gonna go on the fucking?
You should just pound like 7 kombuchas and see if you can.
It sounds brutal. Because it also makes me need to take a massive shit.
Oh, dude,
so like 7 of them sounds a bit brutal. Yeah. 7 sounds a bit brutal, but maybe 6.
Good. No,
kombucha's good for you though, I think.
I saw it in the fridge the other day, and I was like, I wonder who's drinking this. I just figured it out.
No, now it's gone.
Well, it's gone.
You'll never know.
Unless it shows up again, I find out. Put a string on it so when they catch it, it drops a crate over them and traps them. I got you. Oh,
got you,
Granny.
That's sort of what these bodies have done to us, almost, right?
Yeah.
Like, gotcha.
Very much. And now you're going to do it this way and this way and this way, and you're going to abide by these rules?
Yep.
But why?
Yeah, why? Exactly. Why? Because somebody told you to.
This is true. And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we always love chatting about nothing. Because that's why I like chatting about. We actually we'll have one more topic. We'll wrap it up. But I was talking to another friend of mine, and he was like, he's kind of likes to play devil's advocate, and he's like, devil's advocate. hey. Satan. So he was like, so when we talk about nothing, though, he's like, that's something. I was like, right. So, like, the discussion on nothing is sort of a joke, right? Because, like, you can't actually talk about this. Like, the thing that we're talking about, the no thing that we're talking about, you can't talk about. So, like, me even saying the thing you were talking about,
Shit.
it's kind of Fight Club, yeah. Except it's not. Like, you can't talk about it. It's not that you don't. It's just that you
But
can't.
you want to talk about
You
it.
want to, but it's impossible to.
And when
it's
you do
literally
talk about it, people are like, "You're batshit crazy."
Yeah, you're on fucking crack.
Shut
right?
up. No, you're not understanding. I got this guy the other day that I know. He's telling me that he believes in all this and this and this and this. I go, I challenge you. I
Oh boy.
watched his head go boom. I start talking about all this and that and nothing and everything and all of it and nothing. And he's just like, done.
Yeah, and that's the craziest part about it. That's why it's like, I love saying this because people are like, well, prove it. And it's like, I don't have to prove it for it to be the truth. Like, the truth remains. That's what's beautiful about the truth, about reality, right? Like, that's what we're talking. When I say the word reality, I'm not talking about scientific reality. I'm not talking about like somebody's version of reality. I'm talking about like the big one, the real reality, right? Like what's really going on, the behind the scenes of it all.
Prefix of the word, what is real?
Yes, exactly. The truth, right? So truth and reality are the same thing in my
everything.
Yes. And so what I'm saying is that truth never changes, ever. So it doesn't matter if you see it, believe it, or want to. It doesn't change, and it's always the case.
Well, that's not true. Well, just you don't believe it doesn't make it not true.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's just like, it's why. First off, why would there be a point in talking about something impossible if there wasn't merit to it? Like, there's a reason that we talk about nothing. We try to talk about nothing. We don't ever successfully do so. We still have yet to successfully talk about
this whole episode.
Yeah.
Just sidetracked.
This entire podcast in its entirety from episode 1 has not talked about nothing yet. It's impossible.
Tempted.
Can't talk about it. We've tried, and we will continue to try.
Hopefully.
And go ahead.
I was gonna say, hopefully somebody understands. Like,
yeah, I mean that's the thing is like, yeah, there's nothing to understand either, and that's sort of what we're trying to point out is like, all there is to get out of this is to recognize the present and what the case is, period. Not why, not,
there is no
until
why.
when,
because
not, well, when did it start? Well, no, don't worry about any of that. When did you start? When did you start?
Technically, I never did.
Exactly. Like, people like, oh, when I was born. It's like, oh yeah, are you sure? Are you positive about that?
Then how come you have memories from before that?
Well, how can you even have the idea of birth? Like, when you were born here, when a baby's born, right? A baby like instinctively will put its thumb in its mouth, right? Why? Unless it already knows, like, this is just like how this fucking thing works, and I'm just gonna put this here because I like sucking on stuff. Because it's literally looking for a nipple. It's like it's looking for something to suck on.
Nothing like a nipple.
But it's trying to suck on something, right?
Doesn't look like a boob.
Instinctually.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, it's a little different.
What are you talking about?
Different now. I'll just fucking put my mouth on this
Dude,
whole
it's
thing.
just not the same.
But it's instinctual, right? It's like feeding. I need to eat something. I need to eat. Why would you know that if
I guess I could see that
if you only started right at the beginning of birth?
Huh?
Nah, no, doesn't work. That doesn't work that way. You weren't ever actually born either. That's one of the craziest things to fucking realize is that you actually never were born. That body was, yeah, you weren't though.
I mean, what is born technically?
Well, look at near-death experiences. They're just about unanimous on one front. I left my body and was seeing the whole thing from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
Well, it's kind of what you do all the time anyway. You're just
All the time.
We're focused in the time, in the moment.
Yep.
It's like, what is birth? What is being born? What is it though? Because your life technically begins from the moment you begin. But when do you begin?
Where do you
How
begin?
does this little thing come into this little deal, and then how does that happen?
Well, and how was that thing swimming like alive to be swimming?
Like, you can't tell me that just manifested one day inside of some dude's ball sack.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's you. It's just you controlling all of it. All of it. All of it. That air leaving, that was me.
That was me too.
You know who else is me? The guy smashing the subscribe button to make sure that they...
button?
I do. You can't see it. You can't see it. Unless you're watching this again.
So then it's not real.
On YouTube. Oh, nothing's real.
The future? Well, we're talking about the now.
Oh, it will be.
Oh, okay. Eventually?
Yeah, it'll be now when you're watching this.
I guess when I'm watching this, it'll be
Well, is it now? Right now?
Now it is.
So there you go. Hey, man, I appreciate you being on the show.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you having me.
We'll have you back on again for sure. Maybe we'll have a show with Jordan on.
A Triceratops meeting? That'd be kind of cool. How would that
work? There'd just be another screen on here, crazily. I know.
Figure out how to get all these other ones working.
We'll get them.
Not that many screens in here.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you guys for sticking around too, and I mean for real, like thank you, because if you are listening and you're listening all the way to the end of these things, then you know I'm not the one thanking you. You are, like for real, because you're the one growing yourself. You know, I'm already actively, constantly working to grow myself, so I've got your back there. But it's on you to actually do it now. You know, like we put the time in to put these things together. You know, we put the time in to research the topic, you know, and empirically research the topic, not just intellectually research. You can intellectually research the topic all you want. I've got 1,000 books on it. A great one to check out is actually The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. A New Earth is another one by him. It's really great. Read the Bible. Read the Satanic Bible. Read the Teaching of Buddha. You know, read fucking whatever. Reading is such a powerful tool because you have to be present to read. You can't be lost in your head. I mean, in a way. But you're lost in a different way. You know, you're focused lost. But, all right. Well, I suppose this will be it for us. And I guess until next now, we will go ahead and have another discussion on nothing. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Peace.
Bye.